Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we're reviewing the Marvel Legends Groot series Star-Lord. So yes, here we have Star-Lord. I've been sort of occasionally trying to pick up some of the Guardians of the Galaxy figures, since I did end up really liking the movie. Unfortunately, I waited so late that they're not really in shops very much anymore, so I'm probably going to end up having to order some. Either way, I did manage to find Star-Lord, because he's pretty much the most common figure to find, other than Terrible Armor Iron Man. So, yeah. Here we have Star-Lord, pretty much kind of the main character sort of the movie. And he is pretty cool. He's got standard Marvel Legends style articulation, comes with several accessories, and of course comes with a piece of Groot. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, sculpt, paint details, all those sorts of things. Alright, starting with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Star-Lord. Here's our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Superior Spider-Man, and 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Star-Lord is a standard-sized Marvel Legend, so he's roughly the same size as Spider-Man, and of course, bigger than Marvel Universe Wolverine. Now let's get the other two out of here and just look at Star-Lord. Alright, moving on our 360 spin, here you can see Star-Lord. He is mostly covered in his long red trench coat, which looks really good. I love a good trench coat. It's got nice detail to it, a bit of shading, so it's got some dark tones to it, and just normal sort of red. He's got a big bracer on one arm, and then nothing on the other arm. He's got on sort of dark blackish-brown gloves. He's got on sort of a bag that goes over his shoulder and around his waist. It's got some nice detail to it. He's got patches on his shoulders. He's got sort of a grayish-blue shirt on underneath that. He's got a belt and some dark blue pants with a bit of detail. He's got some brown boots down there that have his little booster jets on them that allow him to sort of fly around and stuff. Overall, pretty much looks exactly how he did in the movie, suit-wise. At least before he sort of put on a shorter jacket that didn't have the big longer part. I don't know if that was like removable from this jacket or if he had two jackets. Either way, very cool. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpts. Zooming in on the head sculpts, you've got sort of very nicely sculpted light brown hair. That's pretty much the same on both heads. But then one of them has on his cool mask thing, which is fairly reminiscent of the comic version of Star-Lord's mask. It's pretty much the only thing that's even remotely similar about the two designs. And that's cool. It's got red lenses, little sort of mouth apparatus stuff, and it's all very cool. I would personally display him with that, just because it looks cooler. And then, of course, because the other head sculpt, while it's sculpted nicely and it looks fine, it doesn't really look like the guy that played Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, I believe. He's got, like, a beard, and, like, the face is painted fairly well, and it looks decent. It just doesn't really look like Chris Pratt. Either way, both head sculpts are pretty cool, so you can display him with either one. I just personally prefer the helmet bit. Now, let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Star-Lord is fairly standard for Marvel Legends nowadays. He's got a really nice ball peg that goes pretty much all the way back and forward, side to side. His collar gets in the way, or else his neck would go all the way back. Ball joint shoulders, in and out, forward and back. Bicep cut, double joint elbows. Those are a bit flimsy, but they function. Wrist cuts and hinges. He has an abdominal joint, which is a bit difficult to get at, but it is in there. Waist cut, hips go in and out and forward and back. His coat does restrict a lot of movement. A lot of people have cut theirs off to be short coats, but I don't really have much interest in doing that. He's got hip cuts, double jointed knees, and hinges and rotation and pivoting in the ankles. So that's all cool. Get him into pretty much any pose you need as long as you don't need his legs to move outside of the coat too much. Now, Star-Lord comes with loads of accessories for Marvel Legend nowadays, so let's go ahead and look at those. Accessories-wise, Star-Lord comes with two guns, which are sort of gunmetal with a bit of gold. He can hold both of those pretty easily. He's got a set of headphones, which fit on either version of his head. He's got his little orb here, which contains the Infinity Gem. And he's got a orange cassette player. It has really no detail other than a little bit of insignificant line work. It essentially just looks like an orange square. He can hold that if you want him to. And then he has his left arm of Groot here, which has a hinge and rotation in the wrist, double jointed elbows, and cut and ball joint in the bicep area. So that is all cool. You will need that to complete Groot, and all of these accessories are very nice for Star-Lord himself. That wraps it up for Star-Lord and all of his accessories. Let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, you've just got your standard new Marvel Legends packaging. Guardians of the Galaxy logo up here. Big window there to display the figure. Marvel Legends Infinite Series Star-Lord. On the back, picture of the figure, other figures in this wave: Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, Drax the Destroyer, Nova, and Cosmic Armor Iron Man, as well as Build-A-Figure Groot. Right now, all I have is Star-Lord and Nova. I will try to get everything else except for Stupid Armor Iron Man, although I may have to get him 4 Groot pieces, for I must have the Groot. As always, these are good for in or out-of-package display, so yeah, Star-Lord. Alright, that wraps it up for Star-Lord, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.